investment from the lens of stakeholder theory. Those who are focusing in investment work already very familiar with the stakeholder theory, and also familiar with the ESG as a response for the sustainability based on the triple bottom line. But this paper offered a new approach, what they call it holistic value addition framework. Interestingly, what they really offer actually, apart just dividing into people, profit, planet, profit usually considered in the terms of society, but the society needs to be broadened in the scope. So finally, the holistic value added framework is like this, where they then break down the society into also individuals and families. So that is what we call it new sustainability approach based on the ESG. The second one is what has been published in Journal of Cleaner Production. It talks about rethinking sustainability, questioning old perspectives and developing new ones. Of course, we know the challenges that we have today is really different with previous. So the business as usual is no longer applicable. So there should be a new paradigm. So what are the focus of the new one? This paper actually offers 6 themes of the article. That what they call it the 6 overarching themes. That is, the first one is global perspective on sustainability, challenge, policies, and modes. The next frontiers of sustainability for corporation as the second, integration of non-traditional aspects and new forms of knowledge in sustainability research, planning for sustainable development and sustainable cities, human resource and sustainability. And all of these 6 themes is then tried to be seen in the number of papers in thematic categories. And we know that finally, most papers falls into the second category of the next frontier of sustainability for corporation, where it talks about CSR and eco-innovation, fashion, etc. Yeah, so that is the second interesting article related to the new management strategies. The third one is about ecocentric management mindset, a framework for corporate sustainability. In this new framework, as you can see here, there is an ecocentric management mindset framework, which then identifies some ecocentric behaviors. Yeah. And then the next one is about rethinking corporate social responsibility within the sustainability agenda. So this one narrowing the focus more to the corporate social responsibility, but related with the sustainability agenda. And as we can see here, it starts from the Jonas imperative of responsibility hypothesis, and then trying to make a new model, as we can see in this bottom line, yeah, that the responsible and sustainable company interact with the sustainability strategies and also with the corporate social responsibility initiative. It also makes or form the portfolio of sustainability, yeah, contrasting the tomorrow and the today versus internal and external, forming 4 matrix. And then finally, they offer the holistic approach to CSR here in the blue shadow here, that involve leadership culture and core strategy. And this what they call CSR rethought. So that is the 4th paper. And the next, talking about sustainability, business strategy, and innovation, a thematic literature review. So what research has been conducted regarding this big topic, the sustainability, business strategy, and innovation. And what we found is the new framework as well, that they call it sustainable innovation strategy. It involves capabilities, management, and the firms and how they interact each other. Then next, how about proceedings? Because some articles that I showed before all talking about the rethinking of management strategies for sustainability, but with specific or their own perspective, all from the journal in reputable international journals. How about the conference proceeding? If you would like to see or to read from the conference proceeding, I found one useful link here that can be accessed. That is from International Conference on Sustainable Development. And it is a good venue as well when we have sustainable related papers to then present it in this conference. And as we click on this link, we can find the proceeding with some of the title, but not the full paper. So this just to have an idea what's going on actually in the Conference of Sustainable, what topics are in the rise. So finally, we arrive at the last slide, or not last slide, but about the future agenda. What the possible research areas? Myriad, many possible research areas actually regarding sustainability when we link it with the management strategy. At least, for example, we can see in comparative studies in different geopolitical and cultural settings. Also, we can do the connection between sustainable development, sustainable leadership, resilience, and crisis management. We also can see the role of digitalization and national culture in shaping sustainable development and strategic management in different contexts. And then we can do many more because as we try to picture using PostViewer based on 1,000 articles with the keywords of sustainability, strategic management, we can see here there is still some ample rooms to conduct further research, more to the sustainability and supply chain management, or to also sustainable tourism, but there is also possibility of this culture related to the cultural heritage, such as in Bali have Tri Hitakarana, yeah, and how that relate to the sustainability and many more topics to come. So as a conclusion, the issues of sustainability remains important and challenging, especially toward the achievement of United Nations 2030 agenda. Resilient strategic management is needed in a constant, volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguity, and disruption world. Research related to rethinking management strategy for sustainability is growing, but still leaves ample opportunity for future research. Thank you very much. And that is from me to give you more insight on the rethinking management strategies for sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Apriani. Your insight have set strong foundation for discussions today. Okay, we will now proceed to the presentation by our distinguished panel of speakers, each of them have shared their perspectives and expertise on today's theme. Allow me to introduce them one by one. The first speaker is Professor Romeo from the University Nueva Cáceres, Philippines, who has a Ph.D. in curriculum and instruction, certificate in adult education from the University of Kuala, with multiple bachelor's degrees. Professor Sumayo is currently the Vice President for Academic Affairs in the School of Teaching Education. His areas of interest include curriculum development, adult education, positive research, with a focus on innovative teaching and research. customize insights into competition and sustainability and slowly provide valuable perspectives for today's issues. First, one time with each presentation is scheduled for 10 minutes. Professor Romeo, please proceed with your presentation.
Oh, thank you very much for that introduction. May I check if you can hear me clearly on your end?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so good morning, everyone. I'm truly honored to be here today and to be given the opportunity to share my perspectives on sustainable practices for global competitiveness. Um, I'd like to focus more on the education sector because that's where I actually um, am. I am wearing the hat of the head of the academics in the University of Nueva Cáceres here in the Philippines. So thank you very much, University of Warmadewa through Professor Indi for organizing this international seminar. I agree that the chosen theme, Rethinking Management Strategies for Sustainability, is particularly relevant to all of us as we navigate the complexities of the 21st century. So I believe that in a world increasingly shaped by globalization, technological advancements, and environmental challenges, it is indeed imperative that we re-evaluate our approaches to how we manage things. And in my context, how we manage the many areas of education in order for us to ensure that the future generation are really equipped with the necessary skills and knowledge to thrive. And if I may request Prof. Indi to share my presentation, please, on screen. So I entitled my presentation. Don't worry, this is just a 10 slide. So I don't know if it's ready already on your end, but I entitled it Growing a Sustainable Future. So for me, um, we should be able to grow together a sustainable future. Many sectors in our community, whether it is in education, whether it is in business, or whether it is in the different organizations in our communities. Um, Let me check. Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Indi. So as I've said, I entitled my presentation "Growing a Sustainable Future" because I believe together we grow a sustainable future. Um, what wherever you are, whatever discipline you are into, or whatever sector you're working with, it is important that we contribute in growing a sustainable future. So, to structure my sharing or my discussion on the next slide, I will use the GROW framework. So the GROW framework represents the goals, realities, options, and way forward. I learned this framework from our university coach a few years back when we were talking about coaching and feedbacking, and we are able to really help our leaders in the university in order for everyone to help each other. So this model for me will allow us to systematically examine our goals as a group of academics. So it will also allow us to confront the various realities on the ground, and we can explore available options, and maybe we can agree on what we can do way forward. So towards the end of my presentation, I will present to you um, a working framework that I am developing that is contextualized, of course, in education, but I believe that it can still also be utilized in many other sectors such as business and of course in the government as well. So on the next slide, I stated here that our shared goal is to rethink management practices for sustainability. And I got that from, of course, the theme that was actually chosen by the organizers. So, but if I may add to this main goal of rethinking management practices for sustainability, I like to add that we also have to appreciate some options available from an educational perspective. Since we all belong, I don't know, I'm just assuming that we belong to a community of teachers and community of learners as well. So, so this involves ensuring that our education systems are preparing our faculty, our learners, our students to thrive rapidly, to thrive in a rapidly changing world, while promoting responsibility. So when we thrive in a very dynamic world, in an ever-changing world, we have to be responsible of our actions, and we also have to be accountable in order for us to contribute to social equity. It was mentioned by our keynote speaker that sustainability is very much related to social equity. So these are our goals. Okay, so in order for us to rethink the management practices for sustainability, we also have to appreciate some options from the educational perspective, because our belief is that education will drive it. So in the 17 SDG goals, of course, SDG 4 talks about quality education. And my belief is really the quality of education, SDG 4, together with SDG 17, which is a partnership, will really drive the way to sustainability. Because when we actually educate our learners, our leaders, our faculty, and if we partner and we collaborate, we cooperate, we will be able to really sustain humanity as a whole, and of course sustain our environment at the same time. So moving on to the realities on the next slide, I like to focus on three realities that in my readings and in my engagement with the many leaders of our educational system. By the way, I come from a university which is part of a conglomerate of universities across the country, the Philippines. We have 7 academic institutions, which is actually belonging to a group of schools. So in our discussions, many discussions and many researches that we are doing, we realize that there are 3 realities that we need to actually be aware of, and I have written it on the slide. There are 3 realities. Number 1 is that there are 3 global economies that we need to be aware of, that we need to know. And the number 2 reality is there are 2 global crises our generation is actually facing. And third, which is the last reality that I will be sharing with you, is that there is a phenomenon that emerged in education for us could be treated as a sustainable strategy. So the 3 economies, I will, on the next slide, I enumerated the 3 economies, which of course, starting with global economy. So global economy requires strong communication skills, intercultural competence, and global citizenship awareness. And in 2023 study by British Council, it was found out that 70% of our employers globally consider intercultural competence to be crucial for success in the workplace. And today, I say that this cooperation, this international conference, is a manifestation of intercultural competence of the University of Warmadewa and the rest of its partner schools. So my congratulations, Prof. Indy, and the rest of the organizers of these seminar, international seminar. The next economy is the digital economy. So this digital economy needs no explanation because we all know that this demands digital literacy, this demands adaptability to technological advancements such as artificial intelligence. We have been exposed to artificial intelligence in the education sector. I'm not so sure with the other sectors, but primarily in the education sector, we have been very exposed to these. And in the World Economic Forum, estimates that by 2025 next year, 97 million new jobs will emerge in the digital economy, requiring each individual or the individuals to possess strong digital skills. And hence, I would say that this digital economy is a force to reckon with. It's a force that we cannot avoid. And we have to really face the many challenges that this digital economy will be posing to us. And we should be able to adapt with agility in order for us to sustain as educational institutions, and of course for the other sectors also to sustain. They have to be able to cope with the many challenges this digital economy is actually posing. The third, which is the last economy that I would like to share, is the green economy. Of course, green economy for me emphasizes the environmental awareness of our students, of our learners, even our faculty, our leaders in the education sector, our leaders in government and businesses. We have to be aware of what are the many things that our environment is actually providing us as a challenge. And we have to look into sustainable practices as well, the green skills for jobs in the renewable energy, conservation of these energies, and of course, very important both for the Philippines and for Indonesia is a sustainable agriculture. So the International Labor Organization projects that the green economy will really create so many jobs as well in 2030. So we really wanted to go back to the basics. We really wanted to really take care of our environment because it's very critical that in order for us to sustain as a group of people, as humanity, we have to take care of our environment. Without our environment, of course, digital transformation, digital economy, and global economy will not actually flourish and sustain. So we have to take care, and we have to really look for solutions which will actually help us sustain our environment. So this is actually our first reality that we are facing. The three economies that are actually in our generation right now. On the next slide, I'd like to show that because of these global economies, because of this digital economy and this green economy, we are being posed with crisis on people. So my request on this next slide is there are two crises on people. Okay, first crisis is of course the health workforce crisis. May I ask the one who is navigating the presentation to move to the next slide, please? So I like to say that with all of these economies, there are two global crises that we are we are facing actually, the the healthcare workforce crisis, and the learning poverty crisis. I'm not sure if we are still on the. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I'll help share the screen, Prof.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Indy. Yeah. So I was. Let me continue as we await for the um, slides. So because of these economies, we are faced with two crises, and that is the health work crisis and the learning poverty crisis. So we all know that the COVID-19 pandemic highlighted the critical shortage of healthcare professionals. The World Health Organization estimates a global shortage of 18 million healthcare workers by 2030. 18 million, that's a lot. So, no, that's the third reality, Prof. Indy. Please move to one slide before that. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much. So as I was saying, the workforce, there is a crisis in our healthcare workforce. So I believe that it is actually because of the climate change, of course, the green economy, digital economy, and the global economy. And we have to take care of our health. And of course, there is a dearth, there is scarcity in the healthcare workforce. So that's one crisis. But the more important crisis that we are facing is the learning poverty crisis. So the pandemic also has given us this challenge of learning poverty, with many students lacking foundational literacy and numeracy skills, right? So according to the World Bank, the learning poverty rate is in low and middle income countries has risen to an alarming 70%. So meaning that 7 out of 10 children aged 10 cannot really understand even a simple written text. So this is a quite alarming crisis, which we need to take into which we actually need to focus on, because as I've said, uh, the the key to sustainability is quality education. And if we will not actually take care of the next generation through provision of quality education, we will never be making a sustainable future together. So so this is the second reality. Okay, the third reality is very hopeful, because there is a phenomenon which is actually emerging and being observed in the many academic institutions in the Philippines, not only in the Philippines but abroad, which is the lifelong learning phenomenon. So the lifelong learning phenomenon has emerged as a sustainable strategy in education. So it emphasized the continuous acquisition of new skills and training. So we need to continuously acquire new skills in order for us to properly guide the new generation, and how we'll really be prepared to sustain, to take care of the environment, to sustain the very agile technological advancements. So we, as professors, as teachers, we have to continuously acquire new skills and training. And that is also true to the other sectors, even in business, even in the government. They also have to acquire new skills in order for them to cope with the rapidly changing environment, the rapidly changing technological advances as well. The world Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report indicates that 50% of all employees will be needing reskilling by next year. It highlights the importance of lifelong learning in adapting to evolving demands of the labor market. So there are options. There are options that we can take in order for us to be in the moment of this phenomenon of lifelong learning. And on the next slide, I shared that there are three things that we can actually take into consideration. And the most common, of course, is doing advanced programs or, of course, attending to master's or doctorate degrees and other upskilling programs. So we have to invest in programs that promote upskilling and reskilling. The government, the educational institutions, and the businesses need to collaborate in order for us to create and expand programs that provide individuals with opportunities to acquire new skills and knowledge throughout their lives. Okay? So, my discipline taught me that, of course, education is coming from womb to tomb. So you never stop learning, you never stop acquiring skills, you never stop, of course, sharing as well these skills in order for you to continuously learn. And the second option is through micro credentialing. So we need to offer micro credential opportunities to recognize and validate specific skills and competencies. So micro credentials can really help individuals demonstrate their expertise in specific areas and increase their employability in a rapidly changing job market. So in our university, what we are doing is we are trying to embed that in the curriculum of our the many curricula offered in the university, and we wanted them to cross skill, to be prepared for the other jobs apart from the jobs that they are actually majoring in, or the future job that they are actually majoring in. We also wanted them to prepare for the other jobs that are actually related to their jobs, that will really enhance their curriculum, and we do it in such a way that it gets stackable. So they need to stack their credentials. So they need to take micro credential each SAM on SAM. And then third option is actually on coming up with a skills framework for everyone, not only for our students in the university, our faculty in the university. It also have to be a skills framework for the businesses and also for our government sectors. So we wanted to develop a comprehensive skills framework that aligns education with the needs of, as I've said, the different economies, the digital, the global, and the green economies. So we have to prepare our students for these economies in order for us to avoid or to really solve whatever crisis it will actually bring us or will actually pose to us. So this framework should guide curriculum development, teacher training, and assessment practices to ensure that students are equipped with the skills and knowledge required to succeed in the 21st century, and to, of course, contribute to the different challenges, to contribute by giving solutions to the different challenges and crises that the different economies are actually posing to us. Okay, onto my last three slides, I think, or last two slides. This is our way forward. So remember that my structure is grow. So we already talked about the goal. We talked about the realities, which actually talks about the three economies. I also talked about some options in order for us to really do the lifelong learning as our opportunity. And now I'd like to say that our way forward to sustainability is acquiring attributes and values that will actually contribute to us being a lifelong learning. And these are Excel attributes. I got this, of course, from the graduate attributes of our university. And we believe that these graduate attributes will really help our students um, to be future ready. So we need them to be excellent communicators because, as I've said, strong communication skills are very essential for success in the global economy. Individuals need to be able to communicate effectively across cultures, across platforms, and across mediums. Without this attribute, we will not be able to cooperate. Without this attribute, we'll not be able to collaborate and innovate something which leads us to creative leadership. Without excellent communication, we cannot do creative leadership. And creative leadership fosters innovation and progress. And educational institutions such as our university and University of Warmadewa and other universities in Asia should cultivate environments that nurture creativity, critical, critical thinking, and problem solving skills. It's very essential. It's very critical to solve problems immediately or with agility, because if we do not solve problems and crises that are posed by the different economies immediately, without you knowing it, there will be these problems will actually pile up, and we cannot do any more about it but to surrender. But we have to continuously find solutions by really having these skills, creative thinking and problem solving skills. The third and last attribute is actually ethical responsibility. So ethical responsibility ensures us that it will ensure us for sustainability if we take care of social equity, if we actually nurture our environment, if we actually take care of our neighbors and our friends, our families, of course. So education must play a central role in instilling values of sustainability, social justice, and global citizenship. And for me, it's not only the role of education, it's also the role of business. And I think corporate social responsibility as a principle of the businesses around the world actually is also advocating and championing ethical responsibility. And our keynote speaker said that we have to really take care of the three P's, right? People, profit, and planet. And if I will rank it, I think we have to take care of people first, and then we take people first, and then next is we take care of our planet in order for us to take care of our profit. I mean, profits will actually take care of itself if we take care of people, if we take care of our environment and our businesses. Profit will come if we take care of our people, we teach our people, we let them grow as people and as persons, as professionals. Okay, so on to my last slide, which I call as the Fluence framework. To me, this is a work in progress. This is not yet done, but I am continuously reading about the fluency of things in order for us to sustain as a person, sustain as a school, sustain as a community, and could sustain as a world. So for me, there are two fluences. Can you go back? There are three fluences that we need to take care of: affluence, influence, and affluence. And this is, I think, very much related to people, planet, and profit, right? So people, planet, and profit. So you take care of your purpose. You take care of your goodness. You nurture your goodness in order for you to be able to share something, for you to be able to take care of yourself, take care of the environment, take care of your business, and take care, of course, of your profit later on, right? So in my affluence framework, a better life, of course, is contributed to finding your purpose, finding your purpose in this lifetime. In order for you to be able to do that, you should be able to um, nurture your values and attributes, and that's excelling, right? So as I've said, we wanted everybody to have excellent communication skills. We wanted everybody to have creative leadership, innovation, and being able to take care of our environment, and that's ethical and the integrity, accountability, and responsibility. And that's all actually forming part of ethical responsibility. And that, if we continuously grow from that, you become a lifelong learner. And that we will be able to share to your students, to your coworkers, and that becomes your shared mission, right? Your talent, your time, and your treasures, you are able to share it in order for you to be able to influence your neighbors on how to take care of the environment, how to sustain your family, how to sustain your community as well. So it becomes contributory to a shared vision of having a better life for all, and sustaining, of course, and becoming great. Becoming great and become affluent. And as I've said, it is very much related to profit. Profit is not only talking about money; it talks about profit um, and the social profit. You have to also have you gain respect. You gain that you gain you respect. It's as if you gain also your you have it already on the peak of the Maslow's hierarchy: self-esteem and self-actualization. So you feel great about life if that will happen. So in closing, I'd like to say that I like to quote Jim Collins, which is the author of From Good to Great. Actually, one of the books that I am actually considering in this framework is the From Good to Great book of Jim Collins, and that is actually you have a trajectory of becoming great as long as you be consistent in actually nurturing your attributes, your values, and in sharing your talents and your time with others. And with that, I'd like to say thank you for this invitation. And I hope I was able to give you a perspective from an educational leader, a perspective from the education sector. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. And that's thank you very much to all of you in English. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Swami, for your thought-provoking presentation. First, next speaker we have Dr. Apriani from Warmadewa University. Dr. Apriani holds a doctorate degree in management and is a respected academic in the field of marketing management. His developed extensively through research on consumer behavior, including studies on online purchasing behavior and very in the banking industry. Apriani was published in well-regarded journals and it has been cited in several international academic publications. He was founding a faculty member at Warmadewa University and his life dedication to advancing knowledge and marketing and the economy, specializing in relation to business and consumer behavior. We will be Apriani begin your presentation, possibly for the 20 minutes duration. Feel free to begin with your presentations. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Tarita, for the opportunity for me to outline my material for today. So allow me to share my screen. Right. So today I would like to outline the topic on sustainable marketing in the digital age. So I would like to take the perspective in the marketing perspective, as in addition to what the keynote speaker has been outlining, that she's outlining about the trends in sustainability and also growing interest, especially in research in the sustainability. And also in addition to the second speaker, Prof. Sumayo, that outlining about the importance of educations in shaping values in our people so we can solve the problems in our community, and one of them is about sustainability. So yes, I will be sharing today in the perspective of marketing. So how can we shape consumer behavior towards sustainability for better futures? So there are some key questions that I'd like to address today in our sessions. That how can we connect the marketing strategies and consumer behavior with sustainable business practice in the digital landscape? So there are three key questions that I'd like to address in our sessions today, which is how can marketing drive sustainable consumptions? And the second question is, what role does digital marketing play in promoting sustainability? And the third, how can consumer behavior shift toward a more eco-conscious choices? So I'll start the first with how we redefine marketing for sustainability. So as we heard for many times that we are mentioning about sustainable marketing. So what exactly is sustainable marketing? Is marketing strategies that focus on a long-term environmental, social, and also economic benefits rather than just profit for short term. So if we see the focus here, we are shifting from traditional to sustainable marketing. So in traditional marketing, we see that the focus is more profit driven and also focus more on how that we can generate more sales for our company. But in sustainable marketing, the focus is beyond that, and the purpose is more to have a dignity in our operations of the company. So the focus in sustainable marketing is more purpose driven in how to balance profit and responsibility. So in sustainable marketing, we also pay attention to the triple bottom line as the foundations of the marketing. So the first bottom line, as mentioned by our keynote speaker as well, is profit. So how can business still need to generate revenue, but they need to do it sustainably. And the second foundation is people. This is in line with what Prof. Sumayo has been outlining, that sustainable marketing needs to give positive impact on communities, consumers, and also well-being, how business could maintain their well-being, along with their purpose, which is generating revenue. And the third bottom line is the planet. So how can business operating, but still minimizing environmental harm and promoting balance in the ecological environments? So now I would like to outline briefly about consumer behavior trends toward sustainability. So if we see the data and also if we observe our environment today, so we could see that consumers, they are more informed today about climate change. So this is thanks to the proliferations of digital media and also media spreading news about environmental concerns, spreading news about SDGs. So consumers are growing more informed about the climate change and also sustainability issues. And consumers, the good news is they're actively seeking brands that could reflect these sustainable values. So if I take the statistic survey from the Nielsen report 2023, that 73% of consumers, they are actually willing to pay more for sustainable products. So we can see that they're growing, not just a growing attitude, but also it's translated to behavior. So they are willing to pay more for this sustainable lifestyle. And if we see the key trends in consumer behaviors, there are a growing demand for green products. Yes, the products with eco-friendly certifications like organic, fair trade, or plastic-free. There's actually growing demand for this. And there's also trends in minimalism, where consumer, they are shifting toward quality over quantity. So they're trying to reduce waste and they are adopting more quality products, which could have a longer life over a quantity that you can change your product maybe in a short term or more frequently. So they are shifting more to a quality product that is more durable. And other key trends in consumer behavior that we notice in the market today is that consumer, they demand brands to show their transparency in the supply chain. So not just trusting the claim from the corporations that they are green, the customer also demand the proof. Yes, so the certifications, they would like to see the transparency in the supply chain, the product journey from raw materials till end product. Yeah. And I would like to also outline the example of brand that align with this trend. For example, Adidas. Yeah, Adidas launching a line made from recycled ocean plastic. So it's called Parley for the Ocean. So Adidas is working with Parley organizations. So in this movement, yeah, in this program that Adidas is trying to intercepting plastic that is entering oceans. So before the plastic could enter the oceans, so Adidas and also Parley, they are doing some let's say trying to reproducing the plastic to become a yarn or a thread. So this yarn will be the material for their line, for example, shoes and apparels. Yeah. So Adidas is trying to replace their use of virgin polyester and also virgin plastic. They're replacing it with material that is recycled from the plastic before the plastic could enter the oceans. And we also could see IKEA in their people and planet positive strategy. So IKEA, they are trying to incorporate sustainable concept in their operations. Yeah, for example, like in their product, yeah, they are marketing product that is more environmentally friendly. For example, like LED bulb that is energy saving, and furniture that is made from recycled material, for example. And IKEA also trying to use solar energy or renewable energy to support their operation. Let's say in their store, they are increasingly use a solar panel to support the energy in their store, and also they're trying to achieve 100% of renewable energy in their supply chain and net zero waste. So the next example of brand programs that I would like also to outline, yeah, to give the example of how brands incorporate sustainability concept and mentality in their operation. That should be the example of other corporation as well to be able to achieve the SDG goals, especially in the environmentally sustainable. So for example, Patagonia is a leading sustainable outdoor brand. So they have a key initiative, which is quite controversial. Yeah, so they have a splashy campaign in New York Times, don't buy this jacket campaign. So this encourage consumers to only buy what they need. So this is what sustainable fashion now concept. Yeah. So it's encouraging consumer to buy only what they need in fashions to trying to reduce waste in fashion, because we see that fashion waste is one of the biggest waste in the world, that people wearing their clothes for a short time and then change it with new ones, and this used clothing, it becomes growing waste, yeah, that could harm the environment. And also, Patagonia introduced the worn wear program. So they encourage the consumers to repair their clothes. They come to the stores to repair their clothes to extend the product line instead of buying a new one. And they also buying the old clothes from the customers. Yeah. So instead of uh, uh, reducing it, trashing the clothes, they are encouraging the customers to resell their clothes to the stores. Yeah, so this actually is not reducing their profit by this controversial campaign, but instead, with this initiative in sustainability Patagonia, they built brand loyalty, and they could drive eco-conscious purchasing. Yeah. So on the other hand, loyalty is getting stronger for Patagonia. And other example also, Unilever, they have a sustainable living plan. They trying to reduce their environmental footprint, reduce their carbon emission footprint in their supply chains, and they are improving the livelihoods of millions of people through their programs, yeah, fair wages, for example. And Dove, if you see the campaigns, they're promoting social responsibility. So not just environment, but also social responsibility. If you see Dove campaign that is encouraging women, yeah, to embrace themselves, whatever skin color that the women have, whatever hair type, whatever body shape, that Dove encouraging women to embrace themselves, that they are beautiful as they are. So not just environmental responsibility, but they're trying to give some social responsibility here. Okay, so my next highlight in my presentations today is how digital marketing can be linked with sustainability. So the key here is how to leverage the digital platforms. Yeah, so digital marketing is a powerful tool, not just for growing the growing the business, but also to drive the sustainable goals. So as consumer, they are shift toward eco-conscious behavior. So in here, business, they must leverage digital platform to inspire, to engage, and to educate consumers so they can shift to a more eco-conscious behavior. So the objective in this second sessions is to explore strategies in digital marketing that the company could establish to promote sustainability, and discuss how storytelling, social media, and data analytics could play a role in here. So key digital strategies for sustainability is the first is storytelling. Yes, so storytelling to inspire eco-conscious behavior. So if we see the trends here, the behavior of customers, that customers, they connect with stories more than statistics. So storytelling could humanize sustainability goals, and it could build emotional engagement. So how can we use storytelling effectively? So we could highlight the environmental impact, yeah, before and after, and what is the impact if we continue this lifestyle, yeah. So what is the impact if we are doing sustainable? What can we save in the environment? So storytelling could really help in giving the illustrations to the consumers, that they can see directly what is the impact of their purchasing behavior. And storytelling could also be used to share the brand values and journey, how the brand is transitioning to a zero waste practice. Yeah, for example, Patagonia with their One Wear campaign, they use videos to share customers' stories of repairing clothes instead of buying new ones, and what is the impact of doing that kind of actions to the environment. And the next in this session is to leverage social media for environmental campaign. Yeah, so as we know, the social media is a more cost-effective way to spreading message worldwide. A platform like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, it allows brand to promote sustainability effort through visual content. So the advantage of this platform is they could displaying visual content easily and telling stories in reels. Yeah, so storytelling is really possible using these media, and also hashtag that can be used to spread awareness. For example, the hashtag used in Plastic Free July movement. Yeah, so this is a movement to encourage users to avoid single-use plastic, and they share their progress online. So instead of doing some challenges that's not impacting the environment, so I kindly encourage that we are following movement that is more having a more purpose. For example, like this one, a plastic-free July movement. So with this hashtag and movement, it results in millions of participants worldwide creating a viral eco movement. How they're trying to reduce single-use plastic in their life in 1 month, and eventually it's not just 1 month. Their habits to plastic-free is extended to the next months and next years. So this kind of example how social media could leverage environmental campaign, and others also to working with influencers, yeah, to amplify sustainable message. Yeah, for example, a brand like Albert's, yeah, sustainable shoes, they collaborate with influencer sustainability advocates to highlight the eco-friendly materials like recycled wood, for example. And still in this session is how can we leverage data analytics to understand the preference for green product. Yeah, for example, like tools like Google Analytics and CRM, it could track the search for eco-friendly product. It could track the purchasing pattern and preferences of the consumer. And so they could displaying the relevant message for targeted consumer with that preferences. For example, e-commerce platform, yeah, they highlight the green certified product for customer that show interest in sustainable goods. For example, they track the preferences of the customer that they show interest in the search for sustainable goods, and therefore the e-commerce platform could highlight these certified products. It could tailor the message to the right consumers. Yes, and also there are tools like Hotsuite to track the campaign response, which campaign that is more suitable, that campaign that has more engagement, for example. And there's also A/B testing method that the company could use. I think we could discuss this later in the discussion and section sessions. Yeah. So I would like to go through my last session of presentation, which is shaping consumer behavior to drive sustainable practice. So in here, marketing, it plays a key role actually in influencing behavior by blinding psychological insight with practical strategies. So in this session, we'll see that how can we nudge consumer toward sustainability, and how can we explore hedonic and utilitarian motivations. So we go straight to the example. Yeah. So how can we encourage? So nudging in here, nudging means that we gently encourage consumers, not without forcing. Yeah, without forcing. So we gently encourage. How can we gently encourage the consumer? First, that we can use social proof. Yeah, highlight that others are adopting sustainable practice. For example, statement like over 1 million customers have switched to reusable bag, for example. So it's a social proof. The second is having a negative framing choices in terms of what customer might lose. For example, like if you use single-use plastic, it contribute to 8 million tons of ocean waste yearly. So this is a negative framing, negative message here. The third is to use default options, making eco-friendly choices the default. For example, restaurant making no plastic straw default and providing straw only upon request. Yeah. So this is how that we could influence behavior. Greenwashing, also, I would like to highlight a bit. Yeah, this is greenwashing means that when brand claims to be eco-friendly without meaningful actions to support their claims. So this is where the customer should be careful and should be very aware. And certification here is really important to be the proof that the company is really green. Yeah, so I'd like to highlight in brief these last of sessions, yeah, hedonic and utilitarian motivation in eco-friendly purchasing. So in hedonic, we are highlighting the emotional appeal. Yeah, we know that consumers are driven by feelings of pleasures, pride, and satisfactions. We would like to establish that in marketing, in making sustainable choice. For example, Tesla. Yeah, so they combine environmental benefits with luxury and status. So this is appealing to hedonic motivations, highlighting status like eco-conscious customer are socially responsible. Yeah, you are saving the planet for future generations. So the perfect example here is Tesla. And in this other motivation is utilitarian, which highlighting a more practical appeal. Yeah, for example, like cost saving, convenience, and also efficiency. Yeah, so emphasize long-term saving. So the example here is IKEA. So they promote energy-saving LED light with message like save money and at the same time save energy with sustainable choice. So we can see the difference here in emotional appeal and practical appeal, and both has an appeal for the customers to encourage them to adopt the sustainable lifestyle. Yes, so other move also to encourage recycling. It could give them reward, for example, like Starbucks, yeah, providing discount to customer who bring their reusable cups, and H&M also offers store vouchers in exchange for old clothes, return for recycling. And the second option could digital tools for eco-friendly behavior. For example, like applications like Oro Eco. Yeah, so it tracks personal carbon footprints and provide tips to reduce environmental impact. The third option is also to have adding fun elements in the game or competitions to encourage participations in eco-friendly actions. For example, like a Nike move to zero game. Yeah, they encourage users to recycle old shoes, and they could earn points, yeah, for their sustainable purchase. So these are recycling encouragement that the company could try to implement. So as to wrap up my session, I would like to outline some conclusion. Yes, so sustainability and marketing must work hand in hand. Yeah, so marketing is not just about selling, so it's also about shaping behaviors and driving positive change, in this case, towards sustainability. And the second conclusion is digital platform. They could drive awareness and consumer actions. In here, social media, website, e-commerce platform, they could amplify sustainability campaigns globally, and they use tools like data analytic and social media engagement. It could be used to drive eco-conscious behavior forward. And the last is long-term profitability. It stems from ethical and sustainable practices. This is, I agree with Prof. Sumayo conclusions that a company investing in sustainable, they could achieve a long-term success, yeah, by attracting more loyal customers and responsible investors. The profit comes along with sustainability and ethical practices. So ethical practice should not be seen as a cost, but it should be seen as investment for long-term profitability and also social impact. So that was my outline for today. Thank you for the opportunities, and I would give the session back to the MC, Ms. Darita. Thank you.
For your insights on brain sustainability from a marketing perspective. Next, we have Dr. Nguyen Anand from the National University, Vietnam. Dr. Nab is a lecturer at the National Autonomous University in Vietnam and serves as the head of the Technology and Sustainability Program. He is the Vice President of Indian Science Diplomats and the National Coordinator for the Climate Control CCC program, and his expertise includes ecosystem valuation, climate change economics, the circular economy, and environmental policy. Dr. Lam has collaborated with international organizations like ADB, USAID, UNDP, and WWF across train various global decisions in sustainability and policy topics. Dr. Lam, remember that you have 20 minutes for your presentation. Please feel free to start whenever you are ready. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Tarita. Just want to double check if you can hear me well. And in the meantime, I want to share my screen here. So have you seen my screen?
Yes, Dr. Nam, and we can also hear you clearly. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Dr. Indy. Yes, and yeah, I would like to firstly thank the organizer and Warmadewa University to invite me to share some thought about rethink, right? The topic today, we talk a lot about rethink business, rethink education, rethink marketing, digital reform, and also customer. And my talk would be also about rethink. This time is rethink economic development model. That'll be the idea of my talk. And it's just plays nicely after Dr. Indy's presentation because a lot of ideas there are very well connected to my talk. So let's start with the first one, a little bit of an introduction. So we as a human, we develop our economic system, and with our economic system, we try to apply technology to really gain some more profit from the economic system. And technology, in fact, was really successful in doing that. It can shift the production possibility frontier, the PPF, outward. So with limited resources, we still have higher production, and so yeah, we have better economic development. And you can see on the right hand side just a very simple figure that illustrate that. And as economic student and business student, possibly this one is very much familiar to us. Nevertheless, all of our economic system at the moment are still following linear approach. So that's what I call linear economic development model. It comes with extracting natural resources and then manufacture, distribute, consume, and then after consumption, we're gonna have waste. So if you look at this as an economic model, very popular for most of production lines, we're gonna see that with this model, we have less natural resources and more waste. That economic model is making natural resources and turn it to waste. So that's explain why GFN reported recently that we need 1.7 Earth to meet our world resource needs for our economic activities. If we follow the linear economic development model that I call linear economy, But at the same time, we also have more waste. And Dr. Indy talked about plastic waste, and I would like to take one figure in the Ellen MacArthur report regarding by 2050, we're gonna have more plastic waste in the ocean than the fish in the ocean. So it's really a big risk for us in both sides, um, having less natural resources and more waste. And with technology, actually, this can be accelerated. So, what is the result here, right? We are talking about Indonesia as the second in the world in terms of mismanaged waste to the ocean. And up to 2025, this number will remain. And also, air pollution in Indonesia is causing about 220 billion US dollars costs, equal to 6.6% of Indonesia GDP. And together with that, we're having more costs from other problems like water issues as well. So sometimes we have to ask ourselves whether or not we are having economic growth or actually economic decline when we think about the costs from the environment, from our own economic activity, from our own linear uh, development models. So that's why it has been a trend right now. It has been a global transition right now that many countries are adopting circular economy instead of linear economy, but it's still a long way ahead because, yeah, we already have 3R in many countries. We also have Lansing ladder in many European countries, but we are still having a lot of waste going to landfill, and we are still facing um, really significant natural resources depletion. So what is basically circular economy? It's the idea of turning the linear approach to a circular approach. So instead of having to extract natural resources and then producing waste, we are trying to turn waste to be the input of our next economic system, economic activities. So that's all waste will become the input and the new natural resources. That's what we call secondary material, not the primary. Primary is natural resources, but waste can be a secondary resource. Um, yeah, when we talk about circular economy, it's not only one circle like that. It can be so many circle, and we have three principles of the circles there. But I don't want to go much into the detail because also we have a lot of things to cover. The idea here is that we try to have as many circle as possible to improve our economic system, um, and to improve the overall performance by minimizing the externality through also waste design as well, but not only product design. And that might be a new concept, but I will come back to it later. Um, and yeah, when we think about the step to do with circular economy, we have actually five basically phases of circular economy: design, production, consumption, waste management, and from waste to resources. And in all these phases, we need innovation of green technology, not only the technology advancements that I mentioned at the beginning, but this time it should be like green technology. And yeah, Dr. Indy also mentioned about the conscious consumption. Yeah, here we also have consumption. Um, um, as a very important phase of circular economy. So consumers are more responsible to the environment, and they are smarter in choosing the environmentally friendly products rather than the conventional products of linear economy. So this slide is basically telling the benefits of circular economy. Today, only 9% of the global economy is circular. So basically, 91% is still linear, the most of us. Nevertheless, if we can really turn the world to circular economy, we're gonna have big benefits of 4.5 trillion US dollars from now to 2030. And in Europe, it's already evaluated as 600 billion euros per year and half a million jobs created. In Australia, it's 26 billion Australian dollar per year, and it's similar to many other countries. Circular economy approach is not only that we are protecting the environment, but also we can really benefit from, and that's, you can see the economic benefits from doing that. And when we talk about sustainability, the main ultimate purpose, the ultimate topic of today's discussion, circular economy is touching 10 of 17 sustainable development goals. And when we talk about specific targets, it's touching 134 out of 169 specific targets. So circular economy is basically the pathway for us to reach sustainability. And this is also the result of my recent paper on circular economy. We draw the diagram that show a lot of the relationship between different concepts that we are facing, and we are discussing. All of them are pointing at sustainable development, but circular economy is a good contribution to it in the context of exhausting resources and increasing waste, which we are facing. And so that's enough of concept and approach, I guess. And actually, nowadays we have quite a few practices, and these a lot of practices here I took from Indonesia and Vietnam. As you can see, in agriculture, we have quite a lot of circular economy model. We are having biological cycle and also technical cycle. We also have agro cycle, probably you know, also know them. They're doing a lot of things regarding circular economy to reduce waste and reduce the amount of natural resources that we need to extract for agriculture production. And these are some practical example as well. In Indonesia, using high rice husk as a renewable energy source in a biomass plant. A case study on the circular bioeconomy in organic farming, and also circular economy approach in palm oil industry. And also Dr. Indy mentioned about the plastic bottle here. And there are quite a few articles regarding returnable bottles. So it's not only about the technology, as mentioned on the left-hand side, but also the economic model, the marketing, the value chains that allow us to recollect the bottle. So here they put it returnable bottles, so that we can really deal with the waste in a more efficient way by recycling it. Also, together with that, we set the target of zero waste to landfill, because land is limited, and also landfill is just the lowest part of the Langsik ladder. So that, yeah, we basically want to recycle, reuse, and refuse before letting the waste go into landfill. So actually, there's quite a few practices already existing, but the idea here is that how we can promote them and how we can really have more creative business model regarding the circular economy. So let's have a look in on some practices in Vietnam as well. I don't want to give like sophisticated high technology things. I firstly want to introduce some very simple circular economy models in agriculture here. We have biogas as a similar approach as in Indonesia. We also have integrated farming system, and we have handmade products from rice straw and coconut that really, let me try to show the pointer here if I can. Yeah, yeah, you can see some products here. They are very cheap. They are made from um, side products from agriculture production, and we make them in our free time. So farmers, after harvesting time, they have some free time and they can really make these products. And in Vietnam, we are exporting these products to some European countries as well, and we earn good benefit from that. And when I went to Bali, I saw quite a lot of similar products like this, and it would be great if we can really create a market for it, good marketing and value chains can really increase the economic benefit from such a simple circular economy model. And also we have some other example here, which is more sophisticated, but it's still quite simple when we think about the side product, actually the waste from the agriculture production. These are the shrimp shell and shrimp head, which would normally go to the landfill, but now we can really utilize them to produce a lot of things like chitosan and SSE in the cosmetic industry. And in Vietnam, the potential benefit of it is about 4 to 5 billion US dollars per year. And we have, of course, some vertical farming, aquaponic farming, which can allow us to reduce the amount of waste of water required, and also reduce the amount of wastewater going out as well. This slide is about quite a new concept. I bet it's also getting more popular in Indonesia. That is ESG and sustainability report. Many companies in Vietnam already aiming at this and trying to establish their sustainability report. So in this report, a big part of it is circular economy. As you can see, the Pizza 4P sustainability report in 2022, the sustainability report is actually named Zero Waste Report. So they try to recycle every waste they have, and so that they can really reduce the adverse impact to the environment. And also the sustainability report by Vinamilk. Vinamilk is the biggest milk producer, dairy producers in Vietnam, and they also take circular economy approach to replace the linear economy. And yeah, we also have circular economy in other sectors as well, such as the industrial parks, symbiosis that really save the recent statistic shows that only three piloted industrial parks with circular economy save about 6 million US dollar per year. And plastic, paper, metal, recycling as well. You can see here some plastic waste turn to be like a plastic brick, and they can be used to build houses that can be floating in the climate-prone area as well in Vietnam to deal with sea level rise. And these are just some practices. And within this limited time, I cannot show all of them, but this is just to inspire some new idea regarding circular economy to adopt this sustainable approach. So thank you very much for listening, and I'm looking forward to the Q&A. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. for sharing your profound insights and expertise. Lastly, we have Associate Professor Ilham Sentosa from University Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Professor Ilham is an expert in structural equation of Asia and behavioral research. He has extensive experience as a consultant, trainer, and academic with notable achievements such as the outstanding paper award at the 2008 Applied International Business Conference. His research focuses on integrating meta-analysis, SEM, utilizing tools like AMOS, analysis of movement structures, STRO, and SPSS. Prof. Ilham, you may begin your presentation. Please be mindful that you have but 20 minutes duration. Feel free to begin at your convenience. Thank you.
All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good afternoon to all of you. I'd like to confirm you can hear my voice. My voice is clear.
Yes, we can, Prof.
Okay, cool. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Am I the last speaker?
Yes, Prof.
Okay.
Last but not least.
We try to make it a very easy and relaxed. We are close to lunch hour sessions. Yeah, we're close to lunch hour sessions. I do believe that when I see number of participants in our seminars, a big and huge number. And then, first of all, thank you so much to Warmadewa University inviting me to share a little bit about the sustainable practices. Yeah, as we know that this is the current and top issue right now, when we talk about sustainable practices. I try to make it a very light and easy. I don't want to make it difficult because, my colleagues here, speakers, Dr. Indi, Dr. Nam, and just now already mentions, even already comprehensive, very comprehensive and it's integrated, yeah. And I can see that the flow from the keynotes number 1, 2, 3 until Dr. Nam just now, we can see the continuity. Okay, all right. Again, thanks to Warmadewa. Warmadewa is my second home. Warmadewa is my second home, and then thanks to Dr. Indi and teams, yeah. Thanks to also Warmadewa. Okay, so again, it's an honor for me to talk a little bit about the sustainable practices. As I mentioned just now, I try to make it very relaxed and light since we are close to lunchtime, we're close to lunchtime. And then also the last speakers, I try to summarize the discussions that we had from morning until right now, with the two perspective of the sustainable practices. So meaning that's the big topic, the big idea of my presentation is about sustainable practices. So I just touch about sustainable practices. What are the issue of sustainable practices from two perspectives, organizations and individuals. Okay, so there are two. Yeah, I try to make it light. Yeah, it's a very light and very easy. Yeah, let's everybody relax. Okay, because we had we had a lot of term, actually from the first speakers when so the presentations that okay, it's already covered. Okay, so I don't want to repeat again one more time, because I know that's from morning until right now, our participants already already get the complex understanding, renewable energy, green building, water conservation, waste management, CSR, okay, sustainability, efficiency. So this is all the term. I do believe that's for today until this weekend, our participants will talk, among our students Warmadewa, and also among the participants we talk about this term. But this is good. Okay, this is good. How, through this seminar, so we are trying to socialize, the terms, the terms related to this issue right now. Okay. There are two perspectives that I will discuss about the organization's behavior and also individual behavior. So we talk about the individual organization's sustainable practices, based on organization perspective, and also the individual individual resilience perspective. So we have two perspective. As we know, that's SDG, SDG. So I won't repeat again the concept of SDG, because just now, Dr. Indi, Dr. Nam already mentions about very detailed about SDG. But I like to highlight it a little bit about the issue right now in terms of the organization's practices, organization behavior, how the sustainable practices from the organization perspective. What are the issue right now? Okay, what are the issue? So based on my research and also literature and also discussions for the past, I think for the past 2 years, I try to summarize that's what happening right now in terms of the sustainable practices from the SDG folder. Okay, the issue and challenges right now is lack of awareness and engagement. Okay, lack of awareness. This is look like simple, but still happening right now among the organizations. Resources, okay, resources, which is some of the organizations who say that's Prof, we don't have enough capacity. Our hardware, our software, our brandware still not enough to apply SDG. So even some of the approaches, data monitoring, data and monitorings, and also some of the alignment to the policy and regulation, involvement of the policy, involvement of the private, meaning that's when we talk about public sector, some of the involvement of the private is still not there yet. There's some inequality, inequality or marginalizations in terms of the practices of the SDG. And then right now, in Bali, I believe that's last week I was in Bali. So it's every day is rainy. Am I correct? Bu Indi, still hujan tiap hari di Bali right now, masih hujan
Betul, Prof.
So betul okay. In KL also we had also same thing everywhere right now. So the climate and environmental challenges, this is what happening right now in terms of the practice of SDG. And also all the activities, all the challenges right now is all the challenges that I mentioned just now, in terms of the lack of resources, standard, regulations, partnerships, collaborations. So this is the common issue, but we package the whole thing with the climate and environmental challenges. This is what's happening right now in terms of the practice of SDG. So how moving forward? Okay, how moving forward? Solutions that's companies step by step try to come out with the very simple and practical solution is about the PPP, public-private partnerships, in terms of the aligning the sustainable project, in terms of the how the enhancing data system. But the key issue in here is about collaborations. How stakeholder within the organizations, they're able to see that implementation of SDG is not only just one company, it's not only responsibility of the one company. So we talk about integrations, integrations of many elements, but we have to put it in our agenda that is about collaborations. It's about integrations of the resources that we have in our pocket and also we don't have in our pocket. So we talk about internal and external resources. So the keyword in here is actually talk about collaborations. That's why I mentioned about awareness just now. So there's a possibility that a company they know already about SDG, but the movement, the implementation still far away. Still we call it as a barrier or challenges that we need to go forward. Okay, next. After SDG, after the SDG, the next issue of the sustainable practice based on the organization's behavior, is about the ESG, environmental, social, and governance. Okay, environmental, social, and governance. Right now, the new trend of SME, okay, the new trend of the organizations, right now they talk about ESG. Okay, some of the companies say that SDG is not confirmed yet in organization. No, we move to ESG. No, we move to ESG. So what should we do, Prof? What are the criteria of ESG? Okay, so this is the roadmap, the enhancements or the business continuity management of the SDG. That the ESG right now, we can say that's it's a must for the organization, for the company. Again, there's a few challenges. The few challenges on how to get the company accredited to company reporting, fulfill the standard of the ESG, the greenwashing concern, okay, the cost implementations, the supply chains itself, the complexity of supply chains, in terms of the balancing the short-term and long-term goal of the organizations, the data availability, transparency, the regulatory uncertainty. So this is the issue, the issue which is right now among the stakeholders. They think about ESG only just for the corporate now. ESG is actually for SME also they need to get ESG, for the non-profit also need to get ESG. So meaning that's the trend right now. We have to move forward. That's ESG. It's not only just a talk about the concept of corporate. It's not only just a big organization or big companies. They should go for the SDG and ESG, but the ESG right now is focusing in terms of the practices, how the supply chains practices, how the supply chain practices that we call it as a sustainable practices in terms of the organization, in terms of the behavior of the organization itself. So again, have a look. Okay, have a look how the SDG and ESG. But if I may advise right now, we move to ESG. Okay, I know that's in Bali. There's a lot of SME right now is moving. A lot of startup, a lot of startup right now. They settle down in Bali. Okay, but in terms of the ESG practices, this is another challenge of the sustainable practices that we have to have a look. We have to start to identify how the movement of the sustainability, how the movement of the sustainable practices itself. Quite difficult, but actually is we have to go further. We have to identify that we have to measure that the creativity and innovations of the stakeholder. So meaning that's the SME, because right now in terms of the ESG, ESG, every time during the seminars, I always concerned with the SME. So how you sustain, the measures that's the stakeholder as an employee, the stakeholders are able to see that the whole component of their business is employee, employee as a sustainability champion. So I like this, I like this term that's everybody inside of organizations, they have to get awareness and also practices in terms of the sustainable practices. That we move to the second perspective. Okay, just now I mentioned that I will discuss from both level, organization and also individual. Now, after organizations, we move to the individual behavior. Okay, sustainable practices we see from the organization just now, SDG and ESG. Now, what about the individual behavior? Okay, the big question mark right now, is we have to see that as how the individual behavior in responding the sustainable practices. Very simple questions, before we go for our lunch time, before we go to lunch hour, from 1 to 5. Okay, how sustainable are you right now? This is sometimes questions that's when we ask our colleague, or sometimes we ask ourselves right now. Okay, how sustainable are you? That's are you able to measure that's from 1 to 5? Okay, in which level that you are sustainable in which level that you are able to practice the sustainability. I give you a very simple example, for the past 2 years, for 2 years, this is the real case in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. So the trend right now is a campaign and also practices that's businesses, for example, is a shopping complex mall in Indonesia. So that's in a few big city, Jakarta, in Bandung, Surabaya, Makassar, Bali. Also, I saw there are 2 or 3 businesses that already practices about this one. It's how they socialize the sustainable practices to individual. For example, like this one, currently there's a lot of application right now, for the businesses, a lot of applications. The applications is a push individual to become a stakeholder for the sustainable practices. A simple story like this, right now after we drink, with the plastic bottle. Just now, Dr. Indi also mentions about plastic, right? Also about plastic. So that's why when Dr. Indi mentions about plastic, okay, I have to repeat again about plastic. So how we aware about the plastic, for example, the water bottle from 1 to 7. Okay, let's say we don't want to know about 1 to 7 level, but it's how the water bottle, is become useful. That's for us through the application. We plug into the shopping complex. We put the water bottle to the waste business, to the waste recycle box, and then it's not just water bottle. For example, like the cooking oil, cooking oil. So this is the things that how right now is this is part of the awareness, part of the mobilizations, for the individual behavior, to the sustainable practices. Okay. There's so many, applications. There's so many business model right now, which is encourage individual to start to realize and also to implement about the individual sustainability, the individual behavior on the sustainable practice. I call it this individual behavior. So the key success, the key success of the organizations, that I mentioned just now when we talk about SDG, ESG, and all others standard, is actually they started from the individual behavior. Okay, individual behavior. So every time when I mention about to the SME, for example, so how the individual students, because SME ask me questions, a lot of SMEs on stakeholders, Prof, how I mentioned that my business is sustained. So I mentioned about right now the best practices is start from yourself. It doesn't matter you are the owner of the SME, you are the part of the businesses itself, you as affiliate to the SME. But the most important thing is you realize that I'm the one who responsible for the sustainable practice. There's a lot of mechanisms, a lot of practices, a lot of facilitations to the sustainable practices in terms of the individual practices. It's about behavior. It's about behavior. How that's SME level, we are able to see that when we talk about the sustainable practices, from early morning that we get up in the morning until the evening that we finish our business activities. So the whole process, from morning to evening is about sustainable practices. That's why as individuals, when we talk about the challenges that we face during the organization, it's actually started from ourselves as individual. A lot of discussions right now that's SME, sometimes they don't realize that the sustainability is not our task. Our task is only just business get the profit, and after that is you can sustain the business. Yes, I agree with that. But when you run your business as individual, the business as a part of the community, this is the time for you to see that when I run the business, when I when I feels that when I feels that my business is exists among the community. So how that I can contribute to the community, or how I can socialize the sustainable practice. This is the thing that we believe that's still far away in a few countries. Okay, in terms of the individual awareness. in conclusions, of course, when we talk about individual resilience, is a must. That's why this is good. We have the discussions like this in our seminar. That's how all of us in this room, in this seminar, we are able to see that, oh, this is what happening right now in terms of the sustainable practices. Organizations will get a success when the individual started the work, when individual go further with the awareness. Sorry, and the individual able to socialize, able to become we call it as not change of agents, as a catalyst, for the practice of the sustainable itself. Okay, that's all my thought about the sustainable practices, based on organizations and individual. We continue with the Q&A. Thank you so much. Okay, back to our MC.
Thank you, Professor Ilham, for sharing your expertise and insights with us, and also a big thank you to our listening speaker for sharing your brilliant insights with us today. This speaker is not only inspiring, but also gives us plenty to think about moving forward. Some personal knowledge and perspective should be to the table, so this is just the beginning of many exciting ideas to come. And now we're moving on to the most exciting part, the discussions and Q&A session. This is a place to interact directly with our amazing speakers to dive deeper into today's topic. Feel free to type your question in the chat box or use the raise hand feature to ask them live. And don't forget, when asking a question, please introduce yourself and let us know which people you're directing it to. Let's make this second lively and full of great ideas. You can type it on the chat box. Like subscribe participants today. Don't worry, visit your chance to ask any burning questions from the left. Remember, no question is too small or too big. Our speakers are here to help, so feel free to type your questions in the chat or raise your hand, and let's get this conversation going.
Kayaknya di
Okay, to start, actually, I have some question regarding to Professor Apriani. So, she's still here? Okay. Okay, I have some questions for Dr. Lee. Okay, which I want to ask, what challenges do businesses face when they're transitioning to circular economy? As you can see that you talked a lot about circular economy, so thank you.
Yeah, sorry, Tari. Sorry, Tarita. It's kind of hard to hear you from the beginning. Still having the problem. So can you type the question in the chat box? Maybe you can answer it. Oh yes. Yeah. Thank you. Great questions. Yeah. So in the transition to a circular economy, that means we have to change a lot because yeah, as mentioned in my presentation, 91% of our businesses are still linear economy. So that means we have to do a lot of things to mobilize them to transform to circular economy. And the challenges here includes not only financial challenges, such as you need to change your machines. You need to replace your some kind of manufacturing sectors, but also it's the problem of technology as well, that we need to really get to know the new technology that allows us to change the manufacturer to be greener, to produce less waste. And also, the problem can be lying somewhere in the design phase as well, as we need to change our mindset regarding design. And talking about that, I want to associate that with the customer part that also Dr. Indy mentioned. We need really green conscious customer. As I often say, a smart customer. Um, and in order to have them, we need really good awareness raising programs. And that's not an easy job. And the smart and conscious customers can really affect the whole value chain. With customer requires producer will be greener, and they will have more incentive to produce greener products. But if customer, the buyers are still aiming at cheap and conventional products, it will be a big barrier for the producer to produce new products, greener products, but more expensive possibly. Because yeah, they have to change their value chains, they have to change their manufacture, change the machine. So initially their product will be more expensive. And that's would be another challenge. So financial challenges, technological challenges, and also the challenges from the customer requirement. And another thing is the policy as well. So apart from being the lecturer for the universities, I'm also a policy advisor for the government of Vietnam, particularly on circular economy. And it has been 5 years. I've been working with the team continuously on designing good policies, but it's such a hard job. And policies are pretty much still behind the practices. So yeah, that's also the challenge for government to design good policy to enhance the transition toward circular economy and alternatively and ultimately to sustainability. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your very detailed answer. So it's clear that circular economy involves a lot of complexity with so and opportunity. So it certainly gives us a lot of things to be sustainability or innovation in business. So there are quite a curious minds, but there's so diverse speakers hanging. So this is the moment to just completely of my opinion. And even the simplest questions. Honestly, questions from Dr. Ilham. So, eventually, are you here with us still?
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Ilham, I want to ask, like, how can emerging technologies such as AI and blockchain that can enhance the effectiveness of sustainable marketing campaigns? Thank you.
Right. So thank you for the questions. Yeah, so this is related to technologies, yeah, such as AI and blockchain. How can they enhance the effectiveness of sustainable marketing campaigns? Okay. Can you hear my voice, Miss Tarita? Okay. Right. So as we know that today we are facing emerging technologies, for example, like yes, AI. Yeah. So what kind of role that these emerging technologies can be used to advocating for sustainable marketing? I think we can use AI for personalized marketing. Yeah, so AI, they could analyze consumer behavior and preferences. So this could enable a business to deliver highly targeted eco-friendly campaigns. For example, that AI can recommend sustainable products tailored to individual values and shopping habit. For example, like platforms like Google Ad, which is AI driven. Yeah, so Google Ads, it could optimize ad placement for green campaigns. Yeah, so they could reach eco-conscious audiences more effectively. So this is a more related, yeah, relevant ads for people with sustainable values. And for example, as well, that with if we say about technology like blockchain technology, so I think the marketplace now is heavily using blockchain technology to trace the product journey from the start to the end consumer. For example, this blockchain technology could be used in, let's say, supply chain transparency. So this blockchain can provide record, yeah, of record of transactions. Yeah, this enable business to prove their authenticity of their eco-friendly claims. Yeah, so this could tackle with the problem of greenwashing. Yeah, so with this blockchain, we could trace the product journey from raw materials to final sales. So this could ensure ethical sourcing, for example, and ensure ethical productions. For example, some brands, yeah, they use blockchain to certify the sustainability of their materials. For example, like conflict-free diamonds, yeah, and fair trade products. So it makes sure that the materials are sourced responsibly. It can be traced using the blockchain technology, and consumers can display and consumer can look for this journey. So using this blockchain, it could assure customers that the claim of sustainability that the companies are saying are backed by verified data. So it reduces skepticism in the consumers, and it reduced the greenwashing concerns that we have talked previously in the speaking sessions. Yes, for example, a coffee company, they can use blockchain technology to show that their coffee beans were sourced from fair trade farms, so providing data about farming practices and labor conditions as well. Yes, so these are the example of how we can use blockchain, yeah, to as a proof that transparency of company that they are adopting sustainability practices. And other technology, for example, like let's say augmented reality or virtual reality. So this technology could create some experience that it is immersive to educate, engage consumers about sustainability. For example, like IKEA, IKEA have some augmented reality app that allows customer to visualize eco-friendly furnitures in their home. So we could have an app to see if it fits in our situations at home. So it promotes sustainable choices. So that's what IKEA did. And I think the last I would like to also outline about big data and analytics that I have mentioned in my presentations. Yeah, so by using big data and aggregating and analyzing this big data sets, businesses, they can uncover insights into the preferences of the consumers, to monitor the success of sustainable marketing effort, and therefore use this data to refine their strategy. For example, I think I mentioned in my presentations that e-commerce platform, they highlight green certified product to users, yeah, based on their search history and purchase pattern. So it's like analyzing the consumer preferences and purchase pattern, and then showing or displaying the right product to them. So it makes the sustainability choices easier for consumer who already have the attitude and behavior towards that. So I think that was that, Miss Tarita, for your answer, for your questions regarding how can we use emerging technologies to in incorporating these sustainable programs and moves. Thank you for the question.
Okay, thank you. Like it's clear like how AI and blockchain it can boost the sustainable marketing efforts. Like we know blockchain can be potentially applied to the across various industry so that it's offering enhanced transparency, security, and efficiency. So thank you, Ibu Dr. Indi. Okay, from the chat box, we have questions from Galaputra. Galaputra asking to Professor Ilham, I'm interested with your presentation about recycling bottle plastic. So what do you think about dealing with the garbage that is scattered around our environment and making it something useful for all creatures? Okay, thank you, Gala, for interesting questions. So, Prof. Ilham, in light of Gala's question about dealing with scattered garbage and turning it into something useful for all creatures, how do you think recycling plastic bottles can play a role in tackling this environmental challenge? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Okay. When we talk about uh, bottle plastic, okay, plastic, in Indonesia, in Malaysia, we talk about ASEAN region lah. We talk about ASEAN regions. There's a lot of campaign, a lot of startup, and a lot of startup. They have implemented the water bottle, water bottle usage, in terms of the dealing with the garbage, dealing with the how to utilize the water bottle, transform into a business. A lot of business model. Okay, a lot of business model. In Bali, famous with bank sampah, if I'm not mistaken. Ya, Bu, ini ada bank sampah di Bali yang di beberapa kabupaten kota yang luar biasa bisa dijadikan sebagai model. And then when you talk about water bottle in here, the sustainability of the business model itself, that is the challenge right now. Okay, a lot of startup. When we go to Rambu, for example, or in KL, for example, there's a lot of startup. They have created a usage of the water bottle, garbage. They make a recycle, and then they make using apps with many. There's so many. There's so many. The big question mark right now is how to sustain their business. So this is the big agenda. This is the big agenda. That's why right now is in terms of the commitment of the individual who run the business itself, the commitment of the individual who become a stakeholder on the business, on the usage of the water bottle that we're discussing right now. Okay. In terms of the make it useful, of course, the most important thing is we talk about short-term, mid-term, and long-term planning of the business model itself, because there's a lot of startup. There are a lot of startup right now. They utilize water bottle. Okay, they change water bottle. They make a recycle of the water bottle, or to the social, to the social business, the social entrepreneurships or the social technopreneurships. Yeah, they utilize water bottle. But the big question mark right now is how we are able to see that the futures or the continuity of the business itself. That is the challenge right now. So, okay, solutions. we try to make it very easy. We try to make it very grounded with the practice solutions that we always recommend to the startup. That is try to bring a big community, engage with the many parties in here. So it's not only just when you have a business model for the water bottle usage. So you talk about, so this is my business now. So in terms of the collaboration, this is the most important thing. Collaboration with whom? Collaboration is not only just in terms of the related water bottles usage itself, but collaboration with the potential other businesses. So this is the thing that I always give advice to the SMEs, to the stakeholder, to the startup that currently running the garbage for the water bottle. And also you have to start. Okay, it's not only just a paper, but you have to start. You have to run the business. You have to start to utilize the garbage of the garbage itself. So this is the thing that's of course the process is a trial and error, first trial and error. Or for example, that when we transform water bottle into another product, So I always mentions to the startup, okay, why don't you just start first, okay, and then later on during the journey we can do some adjustments, some modifications. So this is how we try to make sure that the business is running, the business is sustained in terms of the implementations of the waste. That's it. Back to our MC.
Okay, Gala, are you still here with us? Thank you, Professor Ilham, for your thoughtful insights on the role of recycling plastic bottles in tackling environmental challenges. Like, your perspective really highlights the importance of innovation and responsibility in addressing waste. Okay, before we move on to the next question, we have one for Professor Sumayo. Professor Sumayo.
Yes, I'm still here.
So, Sumayo, how do innovation and technology can contribute to helping business to improve sustainability? We'd love to hear your insights on this topic. Thank you.
Yeah. What I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, you're coming in not so clearly, but what I heard is how can innovation contribute to sustainability? Is that it? Sorry.
Yes. How can innovation and technology contribute to helping businesses to improve sustainability?
Oh, help businesses again. What? Sorry. Can
How businesses can improve sustainability with the innovation and technology used?
okay, sorry. Okay, so in my sharing, what really will contribute to sustainability will be really people. So it's our people who will be able to contribute to the sustainability of business. So if we train our students in universities how to be creative, how to be innovative, give them the chance to do some projects that will really simulate or solve the problems in the community. And by community, I mean it includes businesses, partner with businesses in creating solutions for the problems that they are encountering in the respective communities. And that's how the universities, the learners, and the people can contribute to the sustainability of businesses. In the university where I am working, and we actually are promoting the problem research based education, and we are advocating and promoting partnership between and among our institutions and the businesses and the communities in our area. And so that we are able to train our students in the university to already create solutions, innovate solutions for the businesses, and already try it out if it will actually work in the actual setup. So, as an academic leader, I really promote that innovation be part of research, and that in their research, they're able to solve solutions, to solve problems through their creative solutions that are actually being studied in their the different courses that they're taking in either in the undergrad or even in the master's degree or a doctoral degree. So it's important that our students are trained early on. I think it's not only in the higher ed that we have to train our students to do that, but as well as even in the basic education, we already do the investigatory projects in order, but that investigatory project should already be partnered with the businesses and the communities alike, so that they are already contributing to the solutions of these potential problems. So that's it. Thank you very much for that question and having shared my perspective on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Sumayo, for insightful answer. I see it's fascinating to see how innovation and technology being the key drivers in improving sustainability for businesses. Okay, now we have question from Lila to Dr. Nam and Ibu Indi. Okay, Lila is interested in how individual consumers can play a role in sustainability, particularly in implementing sustainability systems, so making it wise product consumption choices and managing waste. What are your thoughts on how individuals can effectively contribute to these efforts? Thank you. For Dr. Nam and Ibu Indi, you may start.
Yes, thank you for the question. Yeah, very good question, I have to say. Yeah, sometimes we think that individuals are so small, but in fact, collectively, individuals can really change the whole society. And in this case, we are talking about customers. Let me give you an example in Vietnam. So a couple of years ago, we decided to not use plastic bottle in the ministry's meeting, and that changed a lot in the market, because a lot of producers switch from producing plastic bottles to other products, for example, glass bottles, um, and so it creates the whole movement of the society toward not using plastic bottles, and so after a while, we saw a lot of new manufacturers, new businesses in the business of glass bottles, so many different types of glass bottles and uh, as well. And we saw a lot of new startups in the field as well. And in fact, it's not required, but many universities in Vietnam and schools as well also refuse to use plastic bottle in their meetings and events. So yeah, we are actually seeing a big movement toward not only um, um, the customer, but also the producers are moving towards more sustainable products and less environmentally harmful products. That's just one example. We also have other examples regarding straws, plastic straws, now switching to rice straws and paper straws. Um, and also there are some good movement at the moment that the customers are doing in Vietnam, and I saw that in many other countries as well, such as designing the bag um, in a different way, using less chemical substance in coloring the bags. And so if the customers have enough information to tell if the bags are made of some harmful chemical substance, they would wisely choose other bags, even though the bags can be um, um, a little bit more expensive, and so that will affect the choice of the manufacturers, the business. They will not buying and producing the types of artificial chemical colored bags, and also the new design in the furniture industry as well. In the past, we saw a lot of furnitures like table and chairs, colors in green, red, and different colors. But now I see that a lot of buyers are preferring the natural color of wood with their table for their table and chairs, and that's really affecting the choice of the businesses. And those are a good example to show that customer can really make wise choice and more environmentally choice to really trigger the move of the whole society toward more sustainable products. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nam. Maybe Windy have another insight?
Right. So adding to what Dr. Nam has been outlining, yeah, the question is about how can we be wise in implementing sustainability system, product consumption, and waste management. I think that was the questions. So I would like to add from what Dr. Nam has been outlining. Yeah, I think it start by embracing sustainable habits. Yeah, it start by starting with ourselves. Yeah. Reduce consumption. So before we buy, we need to ask if the product is necessary, yeah, or if you can repair or reuse what you already have. I think this is the practice that we have already done in our life, and I'll also take example from my friends and colleges. Yeah, so we start with the sustainable habit. Yeah, and of course we choosing a product that is more sustainable. Yeah, we buy eco-friendly products. Yeah, look for items that have certifications. Yeah, so excuse me. Yeah, so look for items with certifications. Yeah, like organics, fair trade, or cruelty-free labels. And most importantly, I encourage that consumers to support local brands. This is very important, yeah, to choose locally made products to reduce the actually the transportation cost. Yeah, so many of us will choose to let's say buy online for goods that is outside our island, let's say in Java, for us in Bali, so we buy in Java. So I encourage that we choose our local products, so it could reduce the transportation costs and reduce the carbon footprint. So we give an impact to the achievement of the SDGs as well. And other thing in still in sustainable product choices that we look for sustainable packaging. Yeah, we choose product with recyclable packaging. Yeah, and we could try prioritizing secondhand product, for example, that is still good. Yes, so we could reduce the amount of waste. And related to your questions about waste management, so I think what we can do is to carry reusable bags that we already do, yeah, by the regulations by our government in Bali, that we are not allowed, or business are not allowed to give plastic bags in the shopping or stores. So we need to carry reusable bags, bottles. When we buy coffee, we can bring our own cups. Yeah, and we could start trying to, in terms of waste, yeah, we could sort our waste based on the recycling guidelines, yeah, categorizing plastic as one trash bin. And then for organic waste, for example, like food waste, we could turn it into compost, yeah, to in our soil in our home, yeah, to reduce landfill contribution, for example. Yeah, and in terms of your questions, also referring to the energy and resource efficiency. So I think this is very simple step that we can do at home. Yeah, so turn off light when it's not necessary, turn off devices when it's not in use. Yeah, trying to switch to renewable energy sources if available, for example, like solar panel. Try to conserve water. Yeah, so use maybe choose detergent that is needs little water to rinse. for example, fix the leaks in your house, for example. And what other thing that also needed is to, like Dr. Nam has mentioned about circular mindset. So you need to have a circular mindset. For example, if you have broken items, you should fix them first instead of discarding them. Yeah, and yeah, think of life cycle. Yeah, so consider product entire life cycle, yeah, from production to disposal, and prioritize options with minimal environmental impacts. Other thing also, in your food consumptions, you could maybe consume food not not as much, so you have so many food waste. Yeah, so you really plan for your meals, store your food properly, and try to reduce food waste. Try to use all of them. Yeah, and I think the last that you need to also um, share your sustainability journey in your social media, so you can inspire others. So it's not just it not ends in you, but also by sharing your sustainability journey, you could also inspire your friends, your family to do the same. So with many people doing the same thing, we could achieve the sustainability goals faster. And don't forget also to celebrate your progress. I think that was that, Ms. Tarita. Thank you.
Well, say thank you, Ibu Indi and Dr. Nam, for your insightful responses. It's clear how individual consumers can make a big difference in sustainability, from wise product choices to the effective waste management. Ms. Leila, I hope that answered your question. Next, we have a question from Mr. Satya Prasiono. Thank you for your insightful question, Mr. Satya. If I may summarize, directing this question to Professor Ilham, Mr. Satya has raised an important point about the role of the culinary industry in promoting sustainability. With the increasing environmental challenges, how can innovations in the culinary field, such as using local ingredients and reducing food waste, support sustainable practices while also meeting the demands of modern consumers? So we'd love to hear your thoughts on this, Professor Ilham. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Actually, it's Dr. Indi already explained about the questions from Pak Setio, from Chef Setio just now. Okay, so thank you to Chef Setio. Chef Setio. It's about the innovation, innovations related to the to the innovations on the culinary industry. Okay, so how we are able to promote sustainability, to promote sustainability. Okay, in terms of the waste, in terms of the waste, in terms of the how the sustainable practices, that's able to meet the consumer demands. Actually, Dr. Indi already explained just now. I just want to add on a little bit, about the innovations related to the culinary industry. One of the campaign that we always encourage to the entrepreneurs, to the entrepreneurs, especially on the culinary industry. We always mentions to the stakeholders that try with your best to utilize local ingredients. Meaning that's the Bu Indi already mentioned just now, like in Bali, like all the all the sources and all sources. Meaning that's in terms of the products, try to utilize locals, locals, because when the circle, when the ecosystems, when the ecosystem among the local community, of course, the regional economics, the regional economics will goes up, will goes up. Of course, related to the crops and also farming, related to the how the agriculture among the locals, it will stimulate, it will increase. So of course, the effect in here, it will reduce the carbon's footprint. And of course, the next agenda, the next issue is about the food waste. some of the stakeholder in culinary industry right now, they use AI driven. So what are the linkage between the food waste and also the AI? Yeah, AI, you can use AI to predict the demand, the to optimizing, yeah, to optimize the usage of the resources itself, you know. So because with the data what we have in our consumptions, yeah, for the food itself, of course, AI able to make predictions more accurate. So this is kind of like campaign. Yeah, this is kind of like awareness that we can socialize. This is kind of like a simple technique on how, yeah, on how in culinary industry we also able to support, okay, the sustainable practices. Of course, just now is Dr. Indi already mentioned about the eco-friendly technologies. Yeah, the eco-friendly usage. Like I'm using plastic right now. Actually, this is not good. Like the practice like individual behavior. Yeah, individual behavior is a play important role. Like stove from plastic, you know. This is something that is a very simple but still, you know, appear, you know. I give a very bad example right now, but actually the ideal situations using bamboo, you know, you know, our own straw that we put it in our pocket, we put it in our, so there's a lot of startup right now, they're designing the bamboo straw, you know. That's can you imagine that how many straw yeah, how many straw surround us right now, you know. That's that's a given impact. This is part of the how we are using the eco-friendly. So this one is a plastic, you know, this is plastic, this is plastic. So even myself, I know I give a very bad example right now. Very bad example. So how the awareness of the individual right now. But actually I have my bamboo straw today. By Saturday I didn't bring my, see, I forget to bring my bamboo straw, you know. And then some of course, we try to meet the consumer demand in here. Of course, we try to see that in terms of the how we designing, yeah, designing our plan, our our business ecosystem in order to make sure that the accuracy of our resources, yeah, fulfill meet consumer. Because when we have a daily consumption, when we have a daily usage of the resources, then we are able to predict what happens to the next. So that is the idea in terms of the innovations that we are able to uh, practice, you know, for the culinary industry. Thank you so much. Back to Ms. Tarita.
That was spot on, and no worries at all about the plastic glass and paper straw. Your point is still valuable, and we trust your efforts towards the sustainability. Thank you, Prof. Ilham, for your thoughtful response. It's great to see how innovations on the culinary industry, such as local ingredient use and food waste reduction, can truly promote sustainability while meeting customers' expectations. Mr. Satya, I hope that answered your question. We move on to the next. In the chat box, we got Mr. Harry's question for Dr. Nam. Thank you for your question, Mr. Harry. How do organizations develop competitive advantage in a rapidly changing market, and the significance of SWOT or SWOT analysis in strategic planning? Dr. Nam, Harry is highly interested in understanding how organizations can develop competitive advantage. And as we know, this is a rapidly changing market, and also the significance of SWOT analysis in strategic planning. We'd love to hear your thoughts on these important topics. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for your questions. I think this is quite a significant question to the companies recently regarding the changing market. And yeah, if we are going to foster the transition from linear economy to circular economy, as I mentioned, the company will have to face some kind of challenges regarding financial investment to change their machines and things. So that that's a big obstacle for them in doing the circular economy transition. And also talking about the changing market, it may give them more difficulties in this transition. Nevertheless, we have to define the changing market. The changing market can be like it's getting more competitive, so everyone just fighting for a lower price and to get the customers. But it's not the case anymore. The changing market at the moment is more like, as Dr. Indy also mentioned, it's more like quality more than quantity, right? So customers are getting smarter and they are requiring more environmentally friendly products. And also in terms of big markets like European markets, some countries like France, they also required product exported to their country to be having some certificate of circular economy or sustainable development. So that's actually some opportunities when we talk about the changing market, because yeah, the existing companies who are following linear economy and not trying to switch to circular economy may have less competitive advantage if they are going to work with customers or partners in the European countries, for example, if they want to export their product to some difficult markets like Europe or America, they have to face some kind of more like environmental barriers, like such as certificate for circular economy, as I mentioned. And also recent years, our ASEAN countries, including Vietnam and Indonesia, are signing quite a few trade agreements giving free trade. So the tariff, the tax on importing and exporting products will be eliminated. But the barriers for like environmental qualities and also circular economy is getting more important. And recently, we also witnessed the CBAM as well, right? The cross-border um, mechanism to deal is kind of new carbon tax applying to some other countries by European Union. That's to say that um, in the changing market, maybe taking the transition towards circular economy can even have a competitive advantage to the company rather than giving them, and yes, of course, there be more challenging obstacle, but at the same time, opportunities are there for us to take. Yeah, there are a lot of startups also taking the step toward circular economy, and also the existing linear economy companies. They are trying to switch um, to gradually transit to circular economy to catch the opportunity of um, the um, the market, like European market and the US market in some states. And not only that, also domestic markets. Um, Customers are getting smarter and more green conscious. And so, yeah, we're going to see very soon more requirement for environmentally friendly products. And they can also afford a higher price for such products like organic products or no plastics. And promote alternative to single-use plastic, for example. And so, yeah, there'll be more and more opportunity to come.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nam, for your valuable insights. It's evident how organizations can use strategies like SWOT analysis to gain a competitive edge in this fast evolving market. Mr. Harry, I hope that helped to answer your question. Apologize for missing your question earlier, Mr. Nick Ridwan, PhD student from UniKL Malaysia, and thank you for your great question for Ibu Indi. And the last question for today, Mr. Ridwan is curious about how eco-friendly local products and brands can compete and elevate themselves alongside larger international brands like Dove, IKEA, and Adidas. Ibu Indi, what are your thoughts on the potential for local brands to make a significant impact in the eco-friendly market? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question from Mr. Nick Ridwan, yeah, the PhD student from UniKL Malaysia. I think this is Prof Ilham students asking me questions about how can local brands level up with the big brands in terms of their eco-friendly products. So Prof Ilham, now I'm wearing accessories, hair accessories made by a local housewife. Yeah, they are being invited. Yeah, they are being what do you call that? What's the word for it? That they are employed by local organizations in their spare time to produce these hair accessories made from leftover fabrics, yeah, taken from the tailor. In local tailor, usually they have leftover fabrics that's not used, which size is really small to be used in new clothing. So there are many leftovers. So these are one example of hair accessories. So I'm trying to be sustainable in my choices of hair accessories, for example. So I think this is also answering the questions from your students in UniKL, yeah, your PhD students, about how can local brand level up with global brands. So I think it gets inspiration from this product that local brand, they could leverage their local identity. Yeah, so highlight their connections to local traditions, highlight their connections to how they empower, yeah, how they empower local resources, local people, how they employ people in need, for example, locally. So this could resonate better with local consumers. Yeah, so this where big brands may lack. So the key to this question is how can you differentiate yourself from the big brands? Create a unique positioning that could make you different with the big brand. One of the example is how to emphasize your connections to the local people, empowering local people using leftover local material, for example, also highlighting local craftsmanship. Yeah, so this is kind of a built narrative around your brand story. Yeah, how it aligns with the eco-conscious value. Yeah, so other thing also that creating unique selling propositions. Yeah, for example, like zero waste productions, community empowerment. You could also mention this in your brand communications. Yeah. And other thing that could differentiate yourself from big brands, you could collaborate with local eco-conscious influencer, for example, partner. Yeah, I think in every local areas, yeah, that there will be like a local influencers that resonate better with the local people. Yeah, I'm talking about the domestic market. Yeah. And then brand, they could, like I mentioned in my presentations, they could invest in branding with storytelling. Yeah, so strong brand identity with let's say strong storytelling, yeah, to convey eco-friendliness and quality. Yeah, so it could resonate emotionally with consumers and differentiate yourself from the larger brand. And of course, in this digital era, that local brands, they need to optimize this digital presence. Yeah, you could create appealing online presence in e-commerce platform, and you can be active in your social media account. You could use storytelling through videos, real story in your Instagram. Yeah, and to highlight your sustainability journey and what impact that your company already make in the journey. And I think what is also important is that in terms of pricing, yeah, I think local brand needs to offer a competitive pricing. And so they could get certain level of value that is similar with what the global brands offer. Yeah, I think that was that. Yeah, some of the moves that local brand could use to level up with the global brands. The key is to how to differentiate yourself with the global brand using the advantage that the global brands may lack in terms of local empowerments, like I mentioned. So I think yes, local eco-friendly brands they may not have the same resources with big corporation but by leveraging the strength and focusing on storytelling, building strong community connections. I think this can be some steps that the local brand can have to level up with their big global contenders. I hope that's answering your question, Mr. Nick Ridwan. Thank you for your interesting questions. Thank you, Mr. Rita. I think that was that
Thank
for me.
you, Wendy, for your insight. So we can say that local brands really have the potential to shine, right? Especially when they tap into their unique local identity, like how you've showcased your hair ties made by local housewives from leftover fabrics. It's all about empowering local talent and creating something more authentic and meaningful that consumers can connect with. So this is how local brands can go head to head with big players like Dove, IKEA, or Adidas. Mr. Ridwan, I hope that gave you some fresh ideas. And big thanks to our awesome participants for your amazing questions and contributions. And a huge shout out to our fantastic speakers for dropping knowledge bombs today. You've made this session super insightful and fun, and we're so grateful for everyone's time and energy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's event. On behalf of the Master of Management program of Warmadewa University, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our keynote speaker, panelists, and all participants for their active engagement and contributions. It has been a privilege to host this event, and we hope that the discussions and insights shared today will inspire positive change and innovation in our respective fields. Thank you once again, and we look forward to welcoming you to our future events. Stay safe and have a wonderful day ahead. Om Santi, Santi, Santi Om.
Link
I would
absennya.
like to kindly remind all participants to fill out the attendance link that has been shared in the chat menu in order to receive your e-certificate. The certificate will be sent to the email address you provide in the form. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you, Dr. Nam. Thank you, Prof. Ilham, Prof. Sumayo. Thank you for
Thank you.
Thank
thank
you.
you for attending the events. Thank you. And for all
Thank you to
participants,
all the speakers.
thank you. And please kind of fill the presence list to get your certificate. We'll already share it in the chat room. Once again, please all participants to fill the presence link that has been provided in the chat room. Thank you. So you can receive your certificate in the email that you provided in the presence link. Thank you, everybody. See you again in next year's seminar. Thank you, Prof. Ilham,
Thank you, Wendy.
with
Bye.
all of your students from UNICAL. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.